I must say I have very fond memories of Prince Andrew. Not the kind of memories that you are thinking right now, those images that you're forming in your head. No, no, not that kind of memories. I mean, the kind of memories when I started my channel, Bottle Language Guy channel in English. That was one of the first analysis I made, which in fact was just a translation to English, and me doing the same analysis of his interview, the interview back then, because I originally did that analysis in Spanish. But of course, one of the most remarkable parts of that interview was when he said that he couldn't sweat, right, for these issues with war or whatever, his service and the military. Okay, he had this crazy explanation that he did not sweat. And of course, many people were saying the opposite, picking up photos online of him sweating profusely. But then I saw this, and this has just popped up. And again, this is another prediction that I got right. I told you, I think it was yesterday, that, pretty much the reason that he's being stripped of his prince title, he's no longer a prince, or he's not going to be no longer a prince, is that more stuff was about to drop. And boy, it did not disappoint. I was right. This Grace ex-Prince Andrew had 40 prostitutes brought to Thailand hotel on taxpayer-funded trip, biographer says. Man, and that's what I had to tweet about that. I had to tweet about that. 40 ladies of the night. Well, it was Thailand. We don't know if there were actually ladies or lady boys, but I don't want to think about that. But 40 in 4 days. 40 in 4 days. Now I understand. Now I know that the allegations that the guy doesn't sweat are true. Because the bloke must have fried his adrenal glands with that mix of Viagra and cocaine. There's simply no way you, took advantage of, could make good use of, 40, let's say, service ladies in 4 days without some, I don't know how to put this in words. And with some help, right? With some chemical help. And that mix of chemical help absolutely nuked your endocrine system. And he should start a podcast with Charlie Sheen or something. Absolutely. And yeah, this is very bad because even the Thai royal family is endorsing this. There was a famous trip to Thailand for the birthday celebrations of the king. Andrew is representing his country and insists on staying in a 5-star hotel rather than the embassy, which he always did. Loney told the Daily Mail's Deep Dive The Fall of the House of York podcast. Andrew had 40 hoes brought in the space of 4 days. This was all enabled by diplomats and others. Loney said multiple sources, including a member of the Thai royal family, had backed up the allegation. So again, but it's nice, Andrew. You are not Prince Andrew anymore, but we can call you Randy Andy, which is quite musical and amusing. Not gonna lie, I'm gonna call you Randy Andy from now on. The John was allegedly one of the many trips Andrew exploited on the taxpayers' dime when he was serving as a trade envoy for the UK in the early 2000s. In 2001, Andrew is 41. He's having his midlife crisis, and he basically starts sticking it in. Starts chasing lots and lots of women. Loney said, "Are you sure that it was when he was 41? It was until then, or not before? I don't know. It's just I'm wondering about it. I'm wondering." He uses the excuse of his role as trade envoy paid for by the taxpayer to go off on these trips, he continued. He always puts in 2 weeks of quote-unquote private time, so 2 weeks. 2 weeks. That is nice. That is nice. I remember that. You remember that movie, The History of the World from Mel Brooks, when they were, in the French Revolution, I think he was the king of France, and he had this line, "It's good to be king," when in this case it's good to be, the son of the queen, and be in the loop, because being in the loop allowed you to do this sort of stuff. That's why yeah, you need quite strong morals to not go down this rabbit hole of corruption and depravity. Oh my God. Private time, so we pay for his holiday, and then he goes off and does things. Lowney went on to argue there was a conspiracy of silence engulfing the Cinque Royal, as he called on the British government's National Archives to release its files on Andrew's time as the trade envoy. Oh my God. So we not only have the Epstein files stuff, but we have now the Andrew files. The Andrew files are coming. Let's see. What are we going to find in there? I don't know. Andrew was sending a list of people he wanted to meet for his own personal business interests, he alleged. Meeting people for personal business interests. That sounds like some, that guy that had an island who did not kill himself. Reminds me of somebody. All the files from his time as trade envoy between 2001 and 2011 remain closed. They should be in the National Archive. The historian continued, they remain closed, and that is part of the conspiracy of silence around Andrew that we need to break. Could it be broken while King Charles is in command of the whole thing? Maybe King Charles has nothing to do with that. Maybe he has no control. I don't know how that works. I remember when Harry was blaming the Queen for what Ravik was or was not doing, and that was completely misleading. So I don't want to say something that maybe King Charles has no power over, but maybe you can help me in the comments with that. Lowney's remarks were recorded just before Buckingham Palace announced its bombshell move to formally shun Andrew by removing his titles and evicting him from his residence of 2 decades amid the fallout over his ties to, yeah, you guess it, Jeffrey Epstein. The royals have faced increasing pressure in recent months after it was revealed Andrew had maintained ties with the sex offender years after he claimed to have severed communication with the late PDF file. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a headache for some time, because time heals everything. If I think the King Charles already did the right thing. Okay, more stuff is gonna come out. That is obvious. That more stuff is gonna come out. Worse stuff than this. And yes, many people are going to have many questions, but at least they are taking the trash out before William, comes and does his thing. And maybe William will still have some trash to take out, if you know what I mean. But let me know what you think about this in the comments. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Royal Rogue. Much love and bliss.